Now we are going to see the region current affair monthly current affair and topic is environmental and in subtopic that is the draft carbon credit trading scheme CCTS. Draft carbon credit trading scheme. Why news? As asking why news? The Ministry of Power, in consultation with the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, is to draft a scheme as a part of its process to establish framework for Indian carbon market. For Indian carbon market. About the draft carbon credit trading scheme, draft came after the Parliament here telling that here let's say once more. Here telling why news carbon draft carbon credit trading scheme. Why is it news? Why it is in news? It is a news because Ministry of Power in consultation with the Bureau of Energy Efficiency is to draft a scheme as a part of its process to establish framework for Indian carbon market to a part of to is as a part of its process to establish framework for Indian carbon market. Next, about the draft, we are going to read about the draft carbon credit trading scheme. They are telling number in one telling the draft came after the parliament enacted the Energy Conservation Amendment Act 2022. They empower the central government to specify CCTS in consultation with the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. In the consultation with the Bureau of Energy Efficiency means carbon credit trading scheme. The Act empowered the central government to specify CCTS. CCTS means Carbon Credit Trading Scheme in consultation with the Bureau of Energy and Efficiency. CCTS means Carbon Credit Trading Scheme aim for reduction or you can say removal of the greenhouse gas emission. What is the target and what is the aim of the carbon credit trading scheme? It aim for the reduction or removal of the greenhouses gas emission. The draft scheme mainly consists of the structure of the purpose of Indian carbon market for both voluntary trading and compliance. The draft scheme mainly consists of the structure of the proposed Indian carbon market for both voluntary and trading and compliance. It provides that in an accredited carbon verifying means an agency credited by the BE Bureau of Energy Efficiency to carry out validation or verification activity in the respect of the CCTS. CCTS means carbon credit trading scheme. More in news here. Next, we are going to see the challenge to carbon market in India. What are the carbon market in India are facing the challenge? What are the challenge of the carbon market in India? The issue with the measurement. Issue with the measurements here telling that the PITE and REC a scheme do not state their certificate metric unit in the term of the carbon dioxide equivalent, which seriously limit their growth potential efficacy as a price discovery mechanism for carbon. Multiple sector market instrument. This fragment the scale of the domestic energy market, prevent cross linkage between the PAT and the RECS scheme. RECS scheme. The weak enforceability on this count. This is a major problem for the REC market as financially stressed discom have limited incentive to minimize cost. Means challenge we are seeing the challenge that is a carbon market in India are facing the first challenge they're facing issue with the measurement. The PITE and REC scheme do not state their certificate metric unit in the terms of the carbon dioxide equivalent, which seriously limit their growth potential. Efficacy as a price discovery mechanism for the carbon and multiple sectoral carbon instrument. This fragment the scale of the domestic energy market and prevent cross linkage between the parts and the REC scheme. Weak enforceability on the DISCOM. This is a major problem for the REC market and financial states. DISCOM have limited incentive to the minimize the cost. Means challenge में here we have seen the first challenge issue with measurement, second challenge multiple sector market instrument, and third is the weak enforceability on the DISCOM. And fourth challenge is here the poor market transparency. This result in double counting of the greenhouse gas reduction and a lack of transparency that make it difficult to accurately assess how much money is being used for the climate mitigation effort. The next problem is concern about the greenwashing. Company may buy credit to offset their carbon footprint instead of the reducing their overall emission or investing in the green technology. G- Clean technology. Way forward. Way forward. Way forward. Examination of present trade of the various environmental instruments to observe trading trend. Examination of the examination of the present trade of the various environmental instruments to observe trading trend. Way forward. First, we have seen the challenge, and that challenge how can be handled by the examination of the present trade of various environmental instruments to observe trading trend. Second is calibration and effective management of the demand and supply instrument. Second, initiative can be taken to handle the and tackle the challenge which is facing the carbon market in India, that is calibration, and effective management of the demand and supply instrument. Third initiative should be taken and way forward is the developing a provision for fungibility of the unit trading to emission reduction may attract voluntary buyer and lead to the international participation in the market. And here's the conclusion to last first before we go to the conclusion. We I would like to hear the block in the, so we have to read and understand what is this. The here's the bureau energy efficiency. Here give about the bureau energy efficiency. What is this? And the headquarter is in Delhi. Bureau Energy Efficiency have a headquarter in Delhi. Genesis, a statutory body established under the provision of the Energy Conservation Act 2001. 2001. Ministry of Power. Ministry of Power. Objective reducing energy intensity of the Indian economy. Key function and initiative. Key function and initiative: create awareness and disseminate information on energy efficiency and conservation. What are the objective of the energy bureau of energy efficiency? What is the objective and what key function? First function is create awareness and disseminate information on energy efficiency and conservation. Second is the promote innovative financing of energy efficiency project. And third is energy conservation building code, set minimum energy standard for certain new commercial building. And fourth is perform achieve trade, a scheme under the national mission for enhanced energy efficiency. So here we are discussing the taking and study term about the Bureau Energy Efficiency. What is this? Genesis. First Genesis statutory body established under the provision of the Energy Efficiency Conservation Act 2001, and the ministry under the Ministry of Power. Bureau of Energy work under the Ministry of Power, and objective reducing energy intensity of the Indian economy. From the Indian economy, the energy intensity of the Indian economy should be reduced. And key function of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency is the first create awareness and disseminate information on the energy efficiency of the conservation. Second is promote innovative financing of energy efficiency project. And third is the energy conservation building code set minimum energy standard for certain new commercial building. And next is a perform achieve trade scheme under the national mission for enhanced energy efficiency. Next is the other key provision of the draft scheme. Other key provision of the draft scheme, and the first provision in the next other key provision of the draft scheme, the role of Bureau Energy Efficiency, and in this it would be the administrator. It would be the here telling that it would be the administrator. It would be about the here other key provision of the draft scheme, the role of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, how they can help to the market, carbon market. It would be the administrator for the carbon market and operate as a secretariat for the ICBGM and issue CCC as recommended by the ICBGB and develop market stability mechanism for carbon credit. Bureau would maintain the IT infrastructure, including the knowledge platform required for the carbon market. Role of the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission as regulator of the trading activity in the carbon market, safeguard interests of the both seller and buyer, regulate matter relating to the trading of the CCT, take effective corrective action to prevent fraud, and next is this role of the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. They play the role of the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission as a regulator of the trading activity is in the carbon market and safeguard of interests of the both seller and buyer, regulate matter relating to the trading of the CCC and take corrective action to prevent fraud. Other key provision of the draft scheme. The other key provision of the draft scheme, next role of the grid controller of the Indian Limited. Grid controller of the Indian Limited. Grid controller of the Indian Limited. Uh, grid role of the grid controller of the Indian Limited. It shall be the registry for the Indian carbon market, maintain record of the full transaction, set up an Indian carbon market governing body for governance of the Indian carbon market, to recommend procedure for the institutionalizing the ICM, recommend methodology to be used under the voluntary mechanism, recommend guideline regarding sale of the carbon credit certificate to outside India. Next is carbon credit certificate. What is a carbon credit certificate? Means the certificate issued to the registered entity by the central government or any agency authorized by it in the CCTS, where each certificate issue shall represent reduction or removal of 1 tons of the CO2 equivalent. Next is carbon credit and carbon market. Carbon credit and carbon market, what is it? A kind of tradable permit that equal 1 ton of the carbon dioxide or the equivalent amount of a different greenhouse gas are removed or reduced and sequestrated from the atmosphere. Carbon market are a tool for putting a price on the carbon emission. What are the carbon market? Are a tool for putting the price of a carbon emission. They establish trading system where carbon credit can be bought or sold. Here telling types of carbon market, which how many types of carbon market. One is a compliance market, and next is voluntary market. Compliance market created because of any national, regional, or international policy regulatory requirement, mostly operate under a principle called cap and trade. Example, use emission trading system. These are those in which the emitter corporation, private individuals, and others buy carbon credit on the voluntary basis. Example, in aviation sector, airlines may purchase carbon credit to offset the carbon footprint. Next is auction or carbon market. Carbon market, offset credit, auction or sale of buyer mutual agreement, purchase excess GSG emission, transaction among the emitter and participant, the real GHG emission, reduction GHG emission, emitter and the allocation of GHG emission, sale transaction among the emitter and the participants. So here we have a compliance market and voluntary market created because of any national, regional or international policy or regulatory require mostly operated under a principle of called cap and trade. And in these they are those in which the emitter corporation, private individual and other buy carbon market, carbon credit on voluntary basis. Example UE emission trading system. Example in aviation sector, airline may purchase carbon credit to offset the carbon footprint. Next, we are going to read India's experience with carbon market. While India does not have an explicit carbon market, it has an instrument that closely resembles carbon market. Clean development mechanism. First is a clean development mechanism created by the Kyoto Protocol, certify emission reduction equivalent to the mitigation of 1 tons of the CO2 implemented by the National CDM Authority under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Uh, a renewable energy certificate scheme. One is the market-based instrument to promote renewable energy and facilitate compliance of the renewable purchase obligation. Value of REC is equivalent to the 1 million megawatt of electricity. REC would be exchanged on the CERC Global Power Exchange and through electricity trader regulated by the CERC. Next is energy saving certificate under the Perform, Achieve and Trade scheme. Aim. What is aim? They aim to reducing a specific energy consumption, that is energy used per unit of production for the designated consumer in energy intensive sector. Next is the excess energy saving are converted into the tradable ECS that are traded at the Indian Energy Exchange and Power Exchange India Limit CECST 1 MTO metric ton of oil equivalent and implemented by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency under the Ministry of Power. Next is significance of the draft scheme. What are the significance of the draft scheme? First significance is set up a single carbon market. That means a single market at the national level would reduce the transaction cost, improve liquidity, enhance a common understanding, and streamline the accounting and verification procedure. Alignment with the Paris Agreement. NDC Article 6 and Article 6 of the Paris Agreement provided for the use of the international carbon market by the country to fulfill their NDC contribution to the sustainable development. Carbon market deliver on several sustainable development goals apart from providing much needed climate action under the goal 13 of the CSDG. Gradual decarbonization of the economy. A robust carbon market mechanism will be also enable active participation of the private sector in the decarbonization effort in all potential sectors. Promote transparency in the institution and financial infrastructure for carbon market transaction. So these all are the significance. First significance is set up a single market, single carbon market mechanism, aligns with the Paris Agreement Article 6, contribution to the sustainable development, gradual decarbonization of the economy, and promote transparency. International carbon market under Paris Climate Agreement, detailing the internationally trade mitigation outcome, which could include emission out measure in the intention of kilowatt per hour renewable energy and the sustainable development mechanism which build on and share some feature of the keto flexible mechanism, namely the clean development mechanism and the joint instrument implementation. The term ITMO has been used since the 1997 Kyoto Protocol to refer to the internationally traded carbon credit between the two governments. Under the Paris Agreement, all the party can host SDM project on the voluntary basis. It could see the country link their emission trading scheme, for example, or buying offset toward their national climate goals. So here let now conclude. There is the conclusion in this. Draft carbon credit trading scheme is a positive step to provide a structure to the Indian carbon credit, which will help in the India's 2030 NDS target and 2017 net zero target. 2017 net target zero and 2013 NDS target.